The bull run is coming. Now, if you're interested in crypto at all, you've probably heard this narrative over the last few weeks, few months even, here as we are in 2024. Now, I believe we are about to enter into a bull run, but something I'm seeing and experiencing with my clients is that a lot of them have never been through a crypto bull run before. So they understand that crypto runs in cycles. They understand the Bitcoin cycle is 4 years, but they haven't experienced it. They haven't been through the psychology of what happens in a bull market, and they don't really understand the timing of exactly where we are. So that's what I want to show you in this video. I want to give you some idea of the ride that's about to come, the psychology of it, the emotions that go with it, and then I want to show you a chart that'll actually map out the timing and show you exactly where we are so you can understand what's about to happen in the market and you can be prepared for it. So let's come on over to this chart, which is the psychology of a market cycle. Okay, we'll start down here on the bottom left, hope. Okay, so the market's been up, it's come down in the past, people have been depressed. Now they're starting to think, oh, maybe this can come right again. We go from hope up to optimism, right? People start believing that the rally is real. Into belief, it's time to get fully invested. Then we go on the run, and this is where I think we're about to come. I think we're sort of hitting in this belief stage right now. We're about to go into the thrill. And the thrill is where everything seems to be moving up. And this is where people get silly and make a lot of mistakes. You know, even here, I'll buy more on margin. I'm telling all my friends to buy. People make irresponsible financial decisions because they get greedy at this point. Now, it's definitely a time that can help us accumulate wealth, set up our own financial futures, but we've still got to be smart about it because after the thrill comes euphoria. Okay, now euphoria is the time in the market where everyone thinks they're a genius. Your uncle who's never done anything financial in his life suddenly thinks he's a financial genius because he's getting rich with Bitcoin. He's throwing more and more money into the market. And this is inevitably right before the market turns over and comes crashing back down. Okay, now when that happens, what happens is we don't always go down just in one direct hit. We'll go down, come up a bit, go down, come back up a bit. So we'll hit this phase of complacency, right? We'll have a trough, we'll come back up. People go, oh, it's all right. It's just a little rally. We're going to keep going up. They ignore the signals. They ignore what's actually going on in the market, and they think we're still going to keep going back up. But that's not what happens. The bull run is over. You know, we're heading down now. So then we get to anxiety. Oh, what's going on? This doesn't make sense. Denial. This can't be right. You know, my investment's worth so much more. Why are my, assets worth less? Then panic, right? Everyone's selling. I've got to get out. This is crazy. And then capitulation. That's it. Crypto's a scam. This market's bullshit. No one should have told me to do this. This is rubbish. People get out and then they get angry, right? Then we go from anger into depression. Oh, I lost all my money because I didn't know when to sell. You know, people are settling into this trough of depression, this trough of waiting then for their assets to come back in value. I had a conversation with a client recently who just recently became a client, but he told me in the last bull run, he put about 250 grand into the market just here. And then he got down here. And his 250 grand was worth about 20 grand, right? And he had to go through this cycle and then wait. And he's been waiting and waiting and waiting for 4 years now. And that's not how we should play out the market cycle. So going into this bull run, it's super important to be aware that you're going to go through these emotions, okay? You're going to get excited. You're going to think this is great. You're going to think it's lasts forever, but it won't. We will get to this top, and when your taxi driver, your Uber driver is telling you what to buy, you know that's probably a good sign to get out, okay? So the market moves in cycles, okay? Here's another great chart. This one shows the 4 market cycles, all right? Let me zoom in on this one a bit. Oh, other way. And it shows us here, this one's marked out in the cycles of accumulation, growth, bubble, and crash. Okay, so accumulation is the time at the bottom of the market where we can start accumulating asset. There's some signs of growth. We start to see the market growing, and that's what we've seen this year. Okay, so from even through 23, but in 24, we've seen the market growing. Then comes the bubble phase, and that's where we get that exponential move up, and I think that's where we're about to go, and then the crash comes down. So let's look at this historically for Bitcoin. Okay, this is the Bitcoin market, and here we come back. This is the 2013 bull market. So we had our accumulation phase, we had a little bit of growth through here, and then we hit this 9,300% growth through the 2013 bull market. And then we have the crash. And then we accumulate again. Okay, we go into an accumulation phase, then a growth phase, and then bull market, 2017 bull market. Then what happens? Crash, down 84% there. Okay, then we accumulate, we grow, we have another run up. Okay, 260% there. That's the 2021 bull market. And now this is coming to where we are now. Through 2022, we had this down 77% market. Then we've had our accumulation phase, we've had our growth phase, and I think we're about to go into the bubble phase where the real growth occurs. Okay, so let's have a look at some timing here on a chart and help you understand how the market here actually works and where we are right now. So what I want to do is zoom in here. Let's zoom myself in here and we'll come all the way back to 2013. Okay. So there's three phases here in this chart. Okay, we've got our red, which is our crash according to the last chart. Orange is our accumulation and growth, and then green as our bubble. But this chart is more about the time from peak to trough. Okay, the time it takes from the peak of the market to the troughs and back again. And I want you to notice the pattern here because this is going to show you where we are right now. So this is back 2013. Right here, we're at the peak of the 2013 bull run. Okay, the market has topped out here and then it comes crashing back down and we come down to this bottom point right here. Now, what's important here is to notice this number here, which is 59. This is a weekly chart. Okay, so this is 1 week. So it's 59 weeks. It's a year, more or less. Okay, so we've spent a year coming back down. Then we enter into this accumulation and growth phase. Okay, now this here has lasted 104 weeks. So that's 2 years. We're basically a 2-year phase. So we've had 1 year of crash, 2 years of accumulation and growth. So here you can see we've sort of sat flat and then we've started to grow. And then the market goes into, let me just pull this down, goes into this green phase. Okay, and that's where we have the massive run up, right? And this is the 2017 bull market. And you can see there, we ran up from a low point of about $200 and Bitcoin here ran up to a high point of 19,000. That was a huge run in 17. That was my first run. Okay, and we've got a time frame on that as well, 152 weeks from the end of our crash. So 104 weeks, 2 years is our sort of accumulation phase, 152 weeks from the crash to the peak of the next run. So that was from 2013 to 2017. Let's have a look what happened 2017 to 2021. So here we go again from the peak of the 2017 bull market. We come down to this bottom here and look how long it took. 52 weeks, right? So it took a year. This crash took a year. Then we have our 104 bars. So we have our 2 years accumulation and growth phase, right? So through that, we see some accumulation. We start to see some growth. And at the end of our 104 weeks here, the market takes off. And again, we then run up and we run up to our new all-time high at 66,000 as it was there. And look at our timing again, 152 that says. So here we had the same as the 2013 to 17. We had 59 weeks of bars there, so a year. Then we had 2 years of accumulation. We had 152 weeks of the full growth period, right, including the bubble. And then we have the same again, 52 weeks of crash, 2 years of accumulation and growth, and then 152 weeks is our total period to the peak of the next market. This is where it gets really interesting because this is where we come to where we are now. So this was our 2021 cycle. And from peak to trough, again, 52 weeks. Okay, so we've had our 1 year crash. We've had our 2 year 104 bar, the orange period there, where there's been some accumulation. We've had some growth. Now we had extra growth this year, and I believe that's just all the ETF volume coming in. So earlier in the year, January, Bitcoin ETFs were approved, and that saw an influx of billions and billions of dollars into the market, and that's what drove the early growth. Plus, of course, we've had the halving, which everyone talks about, and everyone expects that there's growth after the halving. Okay, but I want you to look at where we are right now. Okay, so this is right now, this week, and we are we're 3 weeks away from the end of this 104 week period. Okay, so should history repeat as it has? We know that markets run in cycles. The stock market, the property market, they all run in cycles, and we know that crypto has run in this 4-year cycle. So should history repeat, which I believe it's about to do, we're at the point now where we're going to break out of this 2-year accumulation and growth phase and actually go into what they call the bubble phase, the real hyperbolic growth where we can get incredible changes to our wealth. And that 152 weeks takes us through to October next year. So it takes us through another 12-month period. This is what I wanted to really help people understand. They've seen the cycle, but they don't know where we are. There's lots of chat. There's lots of excitement around it, but it's mostly coming from people who are already in the market and already understand it. So if you weren't familiar with crypto cycles, I really hope this has helped you understand exactly where we are and why there is so much talk about it. The other thing that was really cool that I just saw the other day was a chart that I don't have for you, but it was about Google's search volume for crypto. And what it showed was a massive peak in 2017, a massive peak in 2021 as we went through those bull markets. But that growth, that shows retail interest coming in, right? That search interest on Google, that's retail coming in. So as the market heated up, more and more people want to know about crypto, more and more people are searching for it, and they're looking it up on Google. What we're seeing right now is that we haven't started that run up yet. So that's a good thing, okay? It tells me that people in crypto know this cycle. They know what's going on in the market. We've seen moves already. There's our narratives that are ramping up. AI and gaming are looking huge in this cycle, okay? And that's ramping up, but the retail money hasn't even started to come yet, okay? So when the retail interest starts to pick up, which Google shows us that it hasn't yet, but when that starts to ramp up, even more money will start flooding into the market and really help push this bull run up. So hope that helped you understand what's going on with market cycles, where we're at. Hope it helps with your crypto journey, and good luck in the bull run.